Imagine this. You want to know what people in your city think about new food delivery app. Do you go door to door and ask every single person? Probably not. Instead, you ask smaller group and use their opinions to estimate what the whole city thinks. That's the idea behind sample versus population data. In this video, we will break down what population really means, what sample is, how they are connected, and why understanding difference is crucial for everyone learning data. We will also look at real world examples, pros and cons, and some common mistakes people make. By the end, you will not only get concept but also feel confident about applying it in real situations. So, let's dive in. In statistics, population means complete set of items or individuals you want to study. Think of it as entire universe of your research. If you are a university administrator, population could be all the students. If you are a government researcher, population could be all the citizens of country. If you are a company selling shampoos, population could be all your customers worldwide. Key point is population is everyone or everything that fits your criteria. But here's the challenge. Populations are often huge. Surveying every student, testing every product, or analyzing every citizen takes massive resources. And sometimes it is just not realistic. So, what do we do instead? That's where the idea of sample comes in. Sample is simply a smaller part of population selected to represent the whole. Think of cup of soup. You don't drink entire pot to check the flavor. You just take spoonful. If it's seasoned right, chances are whole soup is fine. That spoonful is your sample. In data terms, if your population is million customers, you may study thousand of them. If your population is 10,000 products, you might test 200 of them. So, why do we use samples and why not always go for full population? Let's be honest here. Studying everyone is often not possible for three main reasons. First, it is too expensive. Imagine the cost of asking 1.4 billion Indians about their shopping habits. Second, it is too time consuming. By the time you collect answers from millions, your data is already outdated. Third, it is sometimes impossible. For example, in medical trials, you can't test new drug on entire population. This is why samples are backbone of modern research. They give you shortcut that still provides meaningful answers if chosen carefully. Think of election polls. News channels don't call every voter. Instead, they survey few thousand people and if sample is well selected, they can predict the winner with surprising accuracy. Let's go deeper with few real world examples. First, census versus survey. Census means counting everyone, that's the population. But surveys, they take sample. That's why governments only do census once every 10 years because it's too massive. In between, they rely on smaller surveys for quicker insights. Second, factory quality control. A toy manufacturer produces 50,000 toys daily. Do they check each one? No. They randomly test a batch, a sample. If the sample is good, batch is considered safe. Third, medical research. When developing a vaccine, scientists test it on sample group of volunteers. If it works safely, then it is rolled out to whole population. Testing entire population from the start would be unthinkable. Fourth, market research. Companies don't interview all their customers. They run sample surveys. That's how Netflix, for example, predicts what kind of shows people like to watch. But here's the catch, not all samples are same. The way you choose your sample affects your results. Let's look at some common methods. First, random sampling. Every individual has an equal chance of being chosen, like picking names out of hat. It reduces bias. Second, stratified sampling. Divide the population into groups like male or female or income levels. Then take a sample from each group. This ensures all groups are represented. Third, systematic sampling. Pick every 10th person, every fifth product, etc. Simple, but only works if data list is random. Fourth, convenience sampling. Talk to whoever is easiest to reach, like surveying only your friends. Quick, but very risky because it is usually biased. It is like cooking rice. Random sampling is tasting grains from different spots in the pot. Convenience sampling is just taking from the top, not always accurate. Now, let's talk about dangers. Poorly chosen samples can ruin your results. And what are those poor choices? First, if sample is too small. If your sample is only 5 people, it won't represent population. Second, if sample is biased. If you only survey city people but ignore rural areas, your data is skewed. Third, if sample is of poor design. If your questions are confusing, your answers will not reflect reality. That is why sample size and selection method matter too much in research. To wrap this up, here's what we learn. First, population is the entire group you want to study. Second, sample is smaller group that represents population. Third, sample saves time, cost and effort. Fourth, but if chosen poorly, they can mislead you. And the golden rule is quality of your insights depend on quality of your sample. Now, let's test you with these two questions. First, is testing every student's maths ability a sample or population? Second, is surveying 100 out of 5,000 employees a sample or population? Drop your answers below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more data related videos. Thanks for watching.